that feeling. 2:30 in the afternoon, a lot to do, and you hit the wall. You're tired and groggy, but you've got to get stuff done. So take a 5-hour energy. Just open it up, knock it back, and roll up your sleeves. 5-hour energy is faster and easier than coffee, and man, does it work. You'll get the alert, energized feeling you need to get stuff done. A lot of stuff. 5-hour energy, when you gotta get stuff done. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
Waddle and Sylvie on ESPN Chicago.
The Bears are what we thought they were. Look at what we thought they were.
Ronald taking his time at bottom play clock. Takes the snap, goes back to throw, from behind, Ball's passing around, hits up on one hop. We got a touchdown, Chicago.
The Bears are who we thought they were. That's why we took the field.
Second and 10 for Leonard and the Cardinals. On the 41, he takes the snap again, the hand up, Edgerrin James stuck up the middle by Alfonso. Falls out, and it's picked up by the Bears. Running it, Tillman, 20, 15, 10, 5. Are you kidding me? Touchdown! Defensive touchdown, number 2. Peter Tillman, 40 yards. 5 minutes to play, and the Bears are back in this thing.
If you want to crown them, then crown them. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Kevin Hester, the 18. Brady Fox, Kevin Hester in the open field. And Hester picks up another block. Kevin Hester, the punter to beat. He beat him. Kevin Hester, all the way.
So I would say that game was probably the most memorable Bears game in the last 10 years. I mean, maybe you can come up with some others, but when you talk about that Monday night game in Arizona and how ugly it was with Matt Weinert leading the way to the Cardinals, and then the Bears' unbelievable comeback.
Didn't Rex Grossman have a 0 quarterback rating in that game?
I think so. Those highlights on BBM, you heard Joniak and Thayer there. And Mike Tirico on Monday Night Football. I listened to it just for, you know what, some giggles. And we'll do that on the air. We'll listen. It's like a 50-second press conference from Denny Green. And he even talks about it in the press conference, and the question was asked in this way. Grossman, I think, had 4 interceptions and 2 fumbles. Think about that. And the Bears won. 4 interceptions and 2 fumbles. And the Bears still won on that. That's crazy. And the most memorable press conference, right, in Lee Ilya, was Denny Green. We let him off the hook. The Bears are who we thought they were. Want to crown them?
Listen, on that topic, as you've heard me say,
If you want to crown them, then crown them.
Rex Grossman was 14 of 37 for $144 and 4 picks in that game. Pretty solid, isn't it? Look, I'm still expecting the Bears to win Sunday, and as I told George then, I expect them to win in Detroit, and then guess what? They are who I thought they were, which is at 10 and 16. Whether or not that gets you in, we can debate. I think it will get them in. I then believe they will go to Green Bay and have their doors blown off, and then I think you will be in the shuffle your feet, lose your seat mode again, where there's no significant change, and it's more of the same 2013. Merry Christmas!
And then nobody's happy because you're not happy that the Bears got eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. You're not happy that there wouldn't be change.
Right.
You know, and Dan Pompeo wrote an article today in the Tribune. He's got very good sources around the league. Did you see this about Mike Tice?
I read part of it. I didn't read it all. And I love Dan Pompeo as a writer. He's one of my favorites of all time. Good man as well. But did anyone put their name on it? It says many point finger at Tice, but Poe say he's not the problem.
And I love this. One defensive coordinator said he would, quote, bet his life Tice is not the problem with the Bears offense. Now, listen, there are many, many problems, but I think you could connect Tice to a lot of them, including the offensive line, which he's endorsed a lot of these guys. He knew Gabe Carimi when they drafted him. His son played at Wisconsin. He was very pro Gabe Carimi. He's been very, very much in Jay Webb's corner as he can be the left tackle. So even if you point to the offensive line and say it's Ben or Cole, Tice is their position coach, or has been, and has endorsed a lot of the guys who have failed. And let's face it, these opponents, they would want Mike Tice to be the offensive coordinator for the next 10 years.
Well, you've asked the question, why would anyone? Well, maybe because, yes, you get to game plan against a Mike Tice offense. And
Tom Capers said Mike Tice is awesome.
well, best offensive coordinator he's ever coached against.
Oh, why would they ever change that?
Look, Adam Schefter told us yesterday, he was very adamant about how no one could coordinate this offense behind that offensive line. And I agree that the offensive line is the biggest issue. But that doesn't allow you to ignore the fact that this team has had no identity and it had no rhythm, and there really has not been a rhyme or reason to how the game plan has unfolded on a week-to-week basis. I don't think you just put your head in the sand and say it's only about the other line. That is at the top of your list of concerns, but it doesn't stop there. And I would ask you, what's your level of? Well, it's going to be hard to make a change if a team gets to 10 wins. If you get to 10 wins and don't get to the postseason, different story. That's 5 of 6 years not getting there, but it's still difficult to fire a guy who's got 10 wins. And you look back last year, 7-3 was the record when your quarterback goes down. And Jerry Angelo, you can point the finger at him and say he's the one that thought that Caleb Heaney was the answer as the backup. So it's going to be hard in some ways to make a coaching change. I would only suggest to you, or ask you, what's your level of confidence if Phil Emery says, okay, look, we're not going to let you go, but you do have to make some changes on your offensive staff. Do you think Lovey's going to consent to that, or do you think
What do you mean? That's all I've heard. That, well, it's going to be a distraction if they keep Lovey one more year and actually make him coach his final year of his contract, where he's still one of the highest paid coaches in the league. No, that doesn't happen often, but still, you can't give a guy new money.
But what if he stumps his foot and says, I'm not going to change my offensive
Well,
coordinator?
that's where you obviously then have a problem between the GM, who didn't hire the coach, and the coach, and then you'd have to make a change.
I just don't know how you could not make serious change on the offensive side of the ball, with Lovey or without Lovey, when that offense has scored 14 points a game the last 6 games of the season, when everything was on the table.
All right, I have a simple question about Phil Emery for you after Sports Center. Here's Sarah Spain.
Thanks, Toby. 9:30. Brandon Marshall and Blake Costanzo both limited in practice yesterday, but they are expected to play Sunday against the Cardinals. Bears hoping to get back a handful of big names on Sunday, including Tim Jennings, Earl Bennett, and Henry Melton. Lance Briggs says their team is confident heading into a must-win game.
We gotta go take care of business. It's our job. We gotta go play, we gotta go win. We're playing for something. So, I can use a lot of motivational terms right now, but, we gotta win.
College football, BYU bested San Diego State 23-6 in the Poinsettia Bowl last night. Baseball, A.J. Brzezinski has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Rangers. That's pending a physical. In hoops, the Bulls take on the Knicks in NYC tonight, a 6:30 start. You can listen live starting with pregame at 6 here on ESPN 1000. College hoops, Notre Dame, Niagara at 6, Northwestern, Stanford at